which is bullshit, buddy.
That's not what I said.
You did it for views.
So here I am working away like I usually do, and I get a phone call from somebody who's obviously really pissed off at me. He's pissed off because of recent, I've done a couple of videos on double brokering. One of my videos, I actually exposed somebody that double brokered our freight. So our brokerage department gave a load to a carrier. That carrier ended up somehow giving it to somebody else. That somebody else ended up giving it to a carrier for a much higher price than we did. And I did a video on exposing somebody for double brokering. Now I received a phone call from somebody, and why don't we dissect it together? And I'd really love to get your opinion, the audience, I'd really love to get your opinion on this phone call. So let's start playing it.
Hello, Ronen?
Yes?
Yeah, hi, Ronen. My name is Ben. How you doing, buddy?
Good, yourself?
Good. I was just looking at a YouTube video about double brokering, bro. It's you, right?
Yep, it's me.
Yeah, so, first of all, let me tell you something about me, okay? My name is Ben, and I'm 12 years double brokering. So, listen, buddy. Whatever you're saying in your video is totally and absolutely fake, because it's not calling double brokering when you're booking the shipment and giving to other truck. That means that you're not going to pay, because it's scam. So we all the time paying the carriers, okay? The term in double brokering, brokers bring out the term in because they basically can't work with the drivers who not able to just accept the tracking links and do all that bullshit, okay? The second thing is, if you're talking about double brokering, your last name is Gilgarev, almost Russian surname.
All right, let's dissect this one at a time, okay? So the guy gives me a phone call and says that I don't agree with your videos with the double brokering, and that my definition of double brokering is not actually double brokering, where he starts off the conversation saying that I've been double brokering for 12 years and this is not double brokering. Hello, my fellow fleet owners. Ronen here from ET Transport. Just a quick heads up, mark your calendars because on May 15th to the 17th, I will be in Chicago as I am attending and speaking at the Logistics Leadership Conference. If you're in the area, I would love to connect with other small fleet owners to discuss the industry. Feel free to reach out to sponsorship at ettransport.ca if you're interested in attending a meet and greet with me. Hopefully I'll see you there. Okay, so this is his angle. His angle is that double brokering is just fine in our industry and it should be allowed. Now, if you hear the remainder of this conversation, you'll understand his angle. The second point that he brings out is about my name and my last name, but let's hear what else he has to say.
Your last name is Gilgarev, almost Russian surname, and you sound like an Indian. I'm not racist, but trust me, what I'm saying.
All right, so he says my last name is Gilkarov, but I sound like I'm Indian, something about my accent, but he's not racist.
So, my friend, I understand. You're calling me to tell me what?
I'm calling you to tell you something that whatever you're trying to say in the YouTube is totally bullshit, buddy. Because you right now not going to be able even to book a shipment because you sound like an Indian. Your last name is Gilkarev. So try to book a load with a sure shot. Let's see what they're gonna do with your MC number.
My friend.
All right, so ET Transport has the brokerage arm of ET Transport. You know, one company that has the trucking side and also the brokerage side has been brokering loads from 2006. It's been 18 years, and I believe we started the brokerage firm in 2000, maybe 13, 14. I think it's been over 10 years now, and we haven't had a problem brokering loads. So I don't know what this guy's saying or what angle he's taking, but let's continue to hear what he has to say. He obviously has a problem with my name and my last name.
I don't understand. I don't have a problem booking loads.
You have a problem with your accent, believe me.
Sure, that's fine. That's your opinion. I understand that, but I didn't ask you to call me.
How many years you are in transportation, buddy? How many years you are in transportation?
ET Transport's been in 18 years in business.
No, exactly you. How many years you are in the business as a dispatcher, as a guy who's booking loads?
18 years.
18. 12 years I'm in this business. So in 18 years, you didn't understand the difference between double brokering, scamming, or something else? You didn't understand the difference?
I don't understand. You're talking to me about my accent and my professionalism, and I didn't request for you to call me. I don't need your advice. I have more than enough. I have more than enough people.
So you really think that double brokering is when you book a load, giving it to other carrier and not paying them? That's what you call in double brokering?
No, the definition of double brokering is when you're taking a load from a broker as a carrier, and then you yourself are brokering it out, and not when you.
All right, so the definition of double brokering, okay, just so I'm crystal clear on this, is when you as a carrier are being given a load from a broker. So let's say we'll take TQL or CH Robinson in this example. If TQL or CH Robinson gives me a load, and I take this load and broker it out to somebody else from the pickup to the delivery, that's considered double brokering, okay? So that's what the videos are about. That's what the articles are constantly about double brokered loads, and this is a problem in our industry. Now, we're not talking about brokering. Let's say TQL or CH Robinson gave me a load, picked up in Illinois, and then I use a third party to pick up my loads in Illinois, but I, as the carrier ET Transport, haul the entire freight. We're not talking about that. We're talking about taking somebody else's load, posting it on the load board, and selling it from point A to point B. Yes, that is considered double brokering, and I do not agree with that, and I would never allow anybody in our brokerage firm to be okay with giving it to a carrier that's going to give it to somebody else.
When you don't have the licenses to do that, yes, that's double brokering. Correct.
Okay, so what's the point? Okay, but why are you saying that in that case, drivers not getting the payment?
Do you even know what's happening? Do you even know what's happening in our industry right now with double brokering? With people?
Yeah, I know what's going on in the industry.
Oh, okay.
I have more than 5,000 trucks, buddy. I have more than 5,000 trucks. I have more than 7 MCs for me that I'm working for those guys, for 5,000 drivers. All of them like 50, 55 years and older guys who is not going to be able to fill out this bullshit online RMIS links, like highway links, like anything else. They can drive. They're broken and everything, which is totally bullshit.
All right, here's his angle. Finally, he's making sense about something. All right, his angle is that he has over 5,000 trucks, and I believe he said 7 MCs. Why in the world would somebody have 7 MCs? But that's a whole nother story. So he brought out a good valid point. So if there are drivers out there that are 50, 55, 60 years old, now in order to get set up with a carrier, in order to set up with a broker, you have to fill out a bunch of forms. Now these guys are busy driving their trucks. They don't have time to fill out these forms, or they don't have time to, analyze every paragraph over there, to send back the documents, certificates, carrier profiles, to create a carrier profile. I get it. But that's why there are dispatch services out there. The dispatch services, I'll get into just a little bit about their role in the industry and what they are allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. But let's continue.
Double brokering term is totally bullshit, because there is no regulation about double brokering. There is no federal government.
All right, so something about what he says, there aren't any concrete regulations against it. What there are concrete rules is when you're taking a load from CH Robinson, when you're taking a load from TQL, when you're taking a load from ET Transport, we all have on our carrier broker agreement a paragraph that clearly states that you are not allowed to take this load and you cannot broker it out. All right, so that is what you're going against. It's not about an industry, and it's not about the rules in the industry. It's when you are doing business to business, okay, it's clear cut that when CH Robinson or TQL gives you a load, you are to haul that load on your own assets. And if you can't, give back that load.
Let me tell you something about it. As a broker who sells loads also, okay, I wouldn't want anybody to take my load and to sell it to anybody else. That's not why I'm giving somebody my load.
Okay, but somebody else who can drive your load, but it is impossible for him to get set up with you, to pick up your load, to book a load with you.
Yes.
Who's gonna move your load? Who's gonna move your load?
I'll find somebody else. Don't worry about it. I don't need you.
You're not gonna find. You're
What?
not gonna find. Believe me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find. Believe me.
All right, so this is another thing that I do not agree with him, okay? You're not gonna find. What do you mean I'm not gonna find? Somehow you found this load. So if a carrier cannot do a load, just give it back to the broker and say, hey, I'm really sorry, my truck broke down, I didn't make it, I couldn't make the pickup. Give whatever excuse you can, but give back the load to the original freight broker and let that freight broker find another carrier. Leave it up to him. You don't need to go to the extent of finding another carrier and doing it. Now you'll see his opinion a little bit more in detail and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All double brokers, one day, not gonna work, you're gonna lose your job, buddy.
I'm not gonna lose. I will be just fine. You just need to make sure that you're gonna be okay. You need to make sure that you're gonna be okay.
Listen. If you're 18 years, in the business, do you remember how 8 years ago, 10 years ago, you're booking a load? Do you remember that any single carrier gonna call you? No, you keep calling carriers, right? You keep calling carriers every single day, 100 or 200 carriers per day to book one of your loads. You just forget that everything. Now what you're doing, you're just posting your load in DAT and that's it. You're just waiting for a call or email, right?
Well, no, we have a registered list of carriers that we use, and if we cannot find
you are a carrier or you are a broker, buddy?
We are both. We have licenses for both. The problem is that most... Yes.
So what's going to happen if you book a load and your truck going to have an issue? You easily going to broker out your load to somebody else, right?
No, we have other trucks. What do you mean?
All right, so here's another thing that I totally disagree with him. All right, so he's saying what happens if you book a load and you go to the pickup. So we'll take Texas, Dallas, Texas. You're booking a load from Dallas, Texas to Buffalo, New York. What happens if you pick up that load and that truck breaks down? So after you've picked it up. So here at ET Transport, we have a fleet of over 100 power units. So no, we would not sell this load, which is what he's saying. We would have the closest driver that's empty to go empty to pick up that load, to swap the trailers, and then that power unit will do the rest of the load. So we would not just post it on DAT, or if a truck broke down, we wouldn't just sell it or double broker this. This is complete nonsense. I mean, maybe that's what their practice is of what they do. That's just not what we do. If a driver breaks down, okay, and has a trailer full, we find the closest person that's empty to him. Usually it's within 150, 200 miles away. And the bigger the fleet is, the more options you have. So for us with over 100 power units, we'd usually have a second guy, probably 100, 150, even if it's 200 miles away. That's the cost of doing business. That's our reputation. The last thing that we would do is post it on DAT and get somebody else to do it.
Bro, don't bring that bullshit to me. It's obvious in business. I do know what I'm talking about. I also have a brokerage. I have 3 brokerages instead of 1.
Why do you need 3 brokerages?
Because there's a bunch of carriers. One carrier can work with the Landstar, the other one can't work with the Landstar. They can work with the Total Quality, for example.
All right, so the reason why he has multiple brokerages and multiple MC numbers is because some brokerage companies will work with some carriers and some of them won't. So he has multiple brokerages. Can you understand that? It's like ET Transport having ABC brokerage, YYZ brokerage, and BBL brokerage. Like, come on, seriously? Why in the world do you need multiple brokerages? Why in the world do you need multiple MC numbers? I mean, you be the judge. Does a carrier actually need multiple MCs if they are clean and they're doing everything properly? Who knows?
I see that you're very passionate about this. If you'd like, I wouldn't mind having a conversation with you on camera.
All right, guys. I honestly am very, very opinionative about, double brokering and about what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. I'm very passionate about what I'm saying. But if somebody was to talk to me about, really having a conversation about why they think double brokering is acceptable and where do you draw those red lines, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you as long as you're okay with disclosing who you are and as long as you're okay with disclosing, this is my opinion, which is fine because it's okay that you think one way and I think another way and we can debate and then we can kind of see where we agree and see where we disagree, which is also fine. So I invited this guy to have a conversation with me live, on camera.
On camera?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Since you think you're so right.
Why not? Why not? Let's do it on the camera. I don't mind, bro. Let's do it on the camera. But main time, if I'm gonna talk with you on the camera, you're gonna take down this video about the double brokering. What about that?
I will never take down my videos about double brokering. You can speak your mind and tell me what you think, and you can convince the audience maybe you're right.
Because it's totally bullshit. Whatever you're telling in your video about double brokering, sorry for my language, but that is bullshit. You're saying that double brokered load, the final carrier who is delivering the load never gets paid, which is bullshit, buddy.
That's not what I said.
You did it for views. You did it for views, buddy.
That is not what I said. I didn't say that the person doesn't get paid. In a lot of the cases...
You basically told that.
No, that's not what I said. We can replay it and watch it together on the video.
How much money are you making per year, buddy?
All right, before we get into the next thing, okay, so basically he's accusing me that I said that when double brokerage happens, and one person sells it to another, that the last carrier does not get paid. So that's not what I said. Okay, what I did say was that carriers along the way, they're more likely, if somebody shuts down in the process, somebody's bound to not get paid. Okay, but he's saying is if everybody gets paid along the way, what do you care what I do? And that's kind of the angle that he's taking. So if I take a load from TQL and it's from point A to point B and I use 3-4 different carriers and I can make $300-400 off of this, what do you care what I do as long as everybody gets paid? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but a lot of people in the process don't get paid and a lot of people get stiffed. And when somebody's not gonna pay you for double brokering the freight, you can be rest assured that the carrier number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are also not gonna get paid if you don't get paid. So that's the problem that brokerages have with double brokering.
How much bucks you making per month or per year?
What difference does it make what I make or what you make? I don't understand. What do you care about what I make? You have 3 MC.
Buddy, I have 7 carrier MC numbers and I have 3 brokerage companies.
Very nice. I wonder. For me, my first question is I wonder why, but that's okay. It doesn't matter what
I answer you why. Because there's a carrier who can work with the Landstar, and there's a carrier who can't work with the Landstar. The same carrier can work with the total quality. So I'm gonna sell him the load with the total quality. So what's the problem?
Okay, so the problem is that TQL or Total Quality or whoever the brokerage company is, they don't want a middleman in between their freight and the carrier. Okay, where this person is coming in, I kind of have a feeling or a start. So he did not disclose who he is or what company he is, but what he did say is that, I understand that it's more of a dispatch service. Okay, now dispatch services have their own rules and regulations on what they are allowed and what they're not allowed to do, but let's continue hearing him out. Obviously, he wants to know how much I make every single year. I think that's completely irrelevant. I mean, what difference does it make if I make $100K a year or $500,000 a year? Like, is he trying to flex on whose balls are bigger? Like, I just don't get it, but let's continue.
The problem
buddy?
The problem is that if TQL knew that you were selling their loads, they wouldn't give you the loads. That's the problem.
The problem is guys like you who don't know the difference between double brokering and scamming people. The problem is you and guys like you in business.
Okay.
You think that you know everything about the business, but you don't know anything. So you are a carrier, you are a broker. Either you're gonna book the load with your carrier and see once your truck gonna have an issue, you're just gonna broker out your load. That's it. That's
no, we don't. Working. No, maybe that's the way. Maybe that's the way you work, but it's not the way we work.
No, that's how exactly you working, buddy. So when you're calling someone names, please make sure that you're not gonna do that. But you are doing that. I'm sure about that. To prove that even, one day I'm gonna book exactly your load. You're not gonna know me. You're not gonna know that it was me. I'm gonna book exactly your load. I'm gonna deliver your load. I'm gonna get paid for your load. Then I'm gonna call you back and tell you that, look, I double broke your load. And what?
My friend, I think you're having a hard time understanding the point of the videos or the point of educating people.
You have a hard time to understand that the point of your video is that double brokering is something horrible, but it's not horrible.
All right, so now that I'm listening to it again, I understand that this whole double brokering thing is definitely affecting him and his business. Whatever the business is, I don't know what it is that he does. Again, I can assume that he is a dispatch service and that he's taking loads and he's selling it to other carriers, obviously making a profit. But you can see in the continuation of this conversation, you'll pick up a few more things of what this guy actually does and why he's getting so affected by it. So when a broker finds out that he double brokered it, okay, they give him a call and they say, hey, you brokered my freight to another carrier. And he says, what do you care? If everybody's getting paid along the way, I I should be able to do whatever I want. But it's not like that. Because if you book the load, and when you're booking the load, tell the broker, hey, I'm brokering your freight to another carrier, and if he's okay with it, that's when you can do whatever you want to do. But hiding that information from the broker and doing whatever it is that you want is just not going to fly, and probably payments are being withheld to him, and that's why he is so agitated by one of my videos.
There's a bunch of guys who can bill, who can talk with the brokers, because there's a bunch of idiot brokers who want to call the driver every single 10 minutes to know exact location where the truck is.
All right, finally, the first thing that I can agree with him on, okay? Some brokers out there, when they give you the load, they want the macro point. They want to be able to call your driver. They want to be able to talk to him every 10, 15 minutes. Now, there are some brokers, okay, that do this, and you have the right as a carrier to choose whether to work with these kind of companies or whether not to. Okay, it's extremely frustrating, the whole calling every 10, 15 minutes, the whole, I want your driver's phone number. We don't give out driver's phone number. That's why we have satellite tracking. But we choose whether we want to work with those brokers or whether we don't want to work with those brokers. Don't be taking loads from those brokers knowing that this is the kind of service that they want and then not give them the service or complain about it. Then don't work with them.
That I can agree with you on. That's not a problem. Listen, I can agree with you on some things, but I can also disagree with you on other things. And I think that some of the stuff that you're saying is complete nonsense. But that's okay.
For what you're not going to disagree? For what?
About the double brokering, I don't agree with you. And what you said about my company,
Why?
that when we broker, because I don't agree. That's not the way we do business. Maybe it's the way you do business, but that's the way we do business.
Okay, if your load, let's say if your load double broke, picked up, delivered on time, what's your problem?
My problem is that it shouldn't be done. I should know about it. And if you're going to double broker,
why?
Because I don't want you to do that. What do you mean why? Because I don't want you, and neither does any other broker.
Right now, there's the load. Take a transportation, Port Hunter, California to Reno, Nevada. Right now, I have a truck 10 miles away from that place. I have a truck in Oxnard. So these guys not giving load to 7 my MC numbers. Can you cover this load and give it to me? I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna pick up on time, delivery on time, even with the micro point truck.
No,
so
I'll tell you. No, I would never give it to you. Why? Because there's a reason why they don't work with you. They don't just not want to work with you. There's a reason. Because I, as a broker, I don't want you brokering my freight. What do you not understand?
Why?
Because I don't want you brokering my freight. Because that's where problems happen.
Why?
Why? Because. Okay. Anyways, I appreciate your phone call. Thank you very much.
Reason, bro. You can't bring a reason. That's your problem.
I'll do it on camera. Let's bring out the reasons. See how good you are.
You basically want to ask me for a time.
I'd love to have a normal debate with you, and you can bring up your reasons, and I'll bring up my reasons, and you can decide for yourself, or at least you can see what other people think about.
I'm so busy person. I have more than 300 people right now working for me, and I'm really busy person, bro. I just see your video. I was like, what the hell is going on? What this guy's talking about? I mean, about the job of brokering. That's bullshit, buddy.
You don't have to view the videos. Buddy. You can go on to the next video. You don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, but don't spread this bullshit,
I have to spread
this.
This is what's ruining our industry. Why?
You're ruining the industry.
Of course.
Guys,
okay.
like Jose. Let's talk about Jose. It's a driver. He's 62 years old. Okay, Jose. It is my driver. He's 62 years old. He 2 years ago, he finally changed his flip phone to Android phone. Okay? So, I'm doing business with him more than 10 years already. So, I'm giving him load. He always on time for pickup, for delivery, everything is fine. But that person doesn't know how to use the fucking email, bro. So what you gonna offer that guy? What you gonna offer?
I'll tell you. There's a lot of companies that provide dispatch services, and when they do dispatch services, they book it on his name.
How much? And cutting how much? 15%? 10%?
No.
I give him $5,000 load. You gonna cut 10%, $500?
No,
really?
Because you book the load on his name, not on your name.
You're gonna book load on his name, and you're gonna charge him 10% as a dispatching, right? 10%.
Dispatch services today run anywhere between 4 to 6%, depending on the one that you use.
There is no 4-6. 4-6% is Indian guys providing. Nobody want to work with Indian guys. That's the bullshit. Nobody gonna give a lot to Indian guys.
So he's bringing up the point about the dispatch services. Now, what do you do with a guy that is 55 years old or 60 years old? Now, I gave him a perfect solution that is legal. All right, dispatch service can only book loads on the actual carrier's MC. All right, they cannot book on ABC dispatch service and then sell the load to the broker or to the owner operator. They have to book it on behalf of the owner operator. The confirmation comes on behalf of the owner operator. It doesn't come to you, okay? It goes to the owner operator, and the owner operator is supposed to pay you for your service, which is usually 4 to 6%. Now, he's saying nobody will work for 4 to 6%. That's nonsense. You can fill out the form below, and I can direct you to actual service, dispatch service companies that charge 4 to 6% of gross. But what he's saying is that you have to understand, as people, whatever we blame other people for doing is usually what we're guilty of doing. So what he's actually doing, from what I understand, this dispatch service or whatever brokerage service he has, is he's booking loads from whoever, okay? And then he takes a cut of whatever he thinks is reasonable and gives it to his broker or gives it to the owner operator or a carrier that has a new MC number and they cannot book loads. Okay, that's really what I'm getting at.
With their horrible English accent, believe me. And there is no trust at all to Indian guys.
Got it. What company are you calling?
Figure out my nationality?
I know what it is. Iranian.
You already figure out my nationality.
You're Iranian, 1,000%.
What?
Iranian.
Armenian, bro.
Armenian.
All right, so I could have sworn the whole time, I thought the accent, I thought it was Iranian, but apparently it's Armenian. I mean, does he have a point? Yes, people that have a strong accent struggle. Now, it doesn't matter if you're Indian or Armenian or Uranian or Russian, it doesn't matter. People with a strong accent, they struggle in the dispatch world. You're right, it's 100%.
All right, listen, I appreciate your
And what's your nationality, by the way? What's your nationality?
You already know my nationality.
Indian.
Indian, yeah?
Yeah, brother, the way that you're doing right.
All right, let's get this on camera, guys. Who in the world am I? All right, so my parents are originally from Uzbekistan, from Tashkent, capital city of Uzbekistan. Before the Soviet Union fell apart, my parents were both born in the city of Tashkent and they migrated to Israel. In 1979, I was born in 1984, and we moved to Canada in 1990 when I was 5 years old. I was raised here, Steeles and Bathurst, which is where a lot of the immigrants were here in the GTA, in the Greater Toronto area. So yes, I went through the public school system. A portion of my life, I went through the private school system, and that's who I am. So originally from Russia, from the former Soviet Union, Uzbekistan, we migrated to Israel. From Israel, we came into Canada. Let's move on. Well, this is for him. So no, I'm not Indian. No, I'm not whatever you think I am. That's who I am.
I have Indian guys working for me. Their English is really good, really good. They have an accent, but their English is really good. But because of their accent, like 9 out of 10 brokers racist, okay? Because of their accent, that they have little bit accent, those brokers not giving them the load. When I'm calling them, they're giving me the shipment. When my guy call him, when my Sagash, I have guy whose name is Sagash. So
Okay.
when Sagash calling them, they're not giving the load. So what's the problem, buddy? It's racism, right?
Again, people can decide to do what they want with their loads. You don't have the right to tell them if they're racist, they're racist. If they're not, this is their problem. Who are you to decide what other people do?
Let's make it legal. Let's call brokerage together.
Let's call
It's
brokerage.
legal, right?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Co-brokerage. It's illegal, right? Co-brokerage. You have a broker, I have a broker. So both of us are brokers. Let's sign a co-brokerage agreement. What about that?
What about that? Why would I need to use your brokerage if I have a brokerage? Can you explain it to me?
Yes, I can explain to you.
Go
Because
ahead.
besides that, I have a brokerage, bro. I have a list more than 5,000 trucks.
I would love to continue this conversation. I do have to go into the meeting at 12 o'clock, but I would love to continue this conversation. If you're open to it, I'd be more than happy to sit and talk to you about co-brokerages and whatever you want. I find it very interesting, and I wouldn't mind picking your brain a little bit and for you to understand where I'm coming from. So if you're open to it, I'll be more than happy. But unfortunately, right now, I have to go. What's your phone? You have a direct number?
Yeah, this is my direct line, 252. What's your direct callback, brother?
My extension is 233, but you probably won't be able to.
No. I give you my cell. Give me your cell phone, too.
I don't give away my cell phone, my friend. My number is 905.
Why are you not giving your cell phone?
Because I don't need people calling my cell phone, my friend. I have a family and kids, and I really don't want to know.
All right, guys, so the reason I don't give out my cell phone number is because I would get bombarded nonstop. Now, at some point or another, you got to understand that your work day is your work day and your home time is your home time. All right, so these are my kids and they deserve time, okay? My undivided attention, and that's why I do not give out my cell phone number. Now, Mother's Day is around the corner, and I would love to show you what I've got for my wife because she's very artsy and she loves these little albums. Beautiful album. It's called The Memory Script. Okay, I got her a little gift and I actually got it delivered to my office earlier today, so I thought I would share it with you. So you add pictures and then it's really cute. You fill out captions on the side. So for those of you that are interested, I mean, this is what I got my wife. But don't forget, the moral of the story is to get her something. All right, let's get back to that video.
Give me your call.
905
909
905
Okay.
669
669
0481
08.
No, 905. No. 905. Well, wait. Let's do this on video. It'll be interesting. You understand?
No,
you have
no, I don't need any videos. If I want a video, I'll open up the YouTube channel like 10 years ago, bro.
My friend, but you have very valid points. You're not the only one thinking these things. You understand? I can have a camera in front of me. Right? You understand? I can have a camera.
You can talk. I can have I can have a conversation with you, and you can talk about me in your video. That's it. That one guy called me with seven numbers.
No problem. It's okay. I'll have the camera on me. You okay with that?
That's okay too. That's okay.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna be live. It's gonna be live.
No, it's not gonna be live.
All right, guys. So a lot of you out there are probably thinking the same thing that he is, or might agree, and some of you might disagree with a lot of the stuff that I'm saying online, which is okay. And I invite every single one of you that if you want to have a normal conversation with me, okay, to email me at sponsorship@ettransport.ca. Let me know what the problem is, and we can, discuss it normally, just without the swearing and the cursing and the BS this and the BS that, without the racism comments, like the racist comments. This channel and platform is just not for that. I really don't care where you're from, where your origins are, what nationality you are. This channel is not meant for these things. It's really meant to better our community, to unite North American drivers, and to give them a voice and a platform that we can all talk about certain problems in our industry. And double brokering is a huge problem in our industry right now. So for those of you that enjoyed this video, leave the comments down below. Let me know. I mean, is he right? Do you guys think that maybe he's right? Maybe he has valid points. I mean, I thought he had a valid point in regards to, brokers calling drivers all the time, for sure, 100%, right? But there's a lot of other stuff that I just did not agree with him. But what are your thoughts on it? Let me know below, and I'll catch you in my next video.